Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name's Esteban. If you're here, it's probably because you want to make some money. As a real estate investor, general contractor, and developer, I'm going to show you how to make the quickest money in construction through demolition. Demolition is exactly what it sounds like. It's demoing a job according to the scope of work provided by the client. Some demolition jobs are a full gut, which means everything must go, and some of them are partial demolitions. These all vary depending on the investor or client that you're working with. So if you want to get into demolition, here's how to get started. Get yourself some contractor bags, make sure you have a good connect for dumpsters, get yourself a shovel, some hammers, a mask, and some gloves. Then you want to start looking for people that are going to do the work. You can find people Facebook, Craigslist, any sort of social media platform, as well as driving around the city. There's constantly people on the street asking for money. Sometimes they say, we'll work for food. Sometimes they'll say willing to work. Go up to them, ask them, hey, do you want to make $100, $150 today? Come work for me and I'll pay you out at the end of the day. So get them in here, show them what you need done, and supervise them, obviously, to make sure they're getting the work done right, and pay them out at the end of the day. So there is an order of operations when you're demoing a house. Specifically, when you're doing a plastered house, you don't want to just go crazy and knock everything down. You want to take it step by step. First, remove the plaster by literally just hitting it with a hammer. You don't want to hit too hard to get into the lath, and it'll start crumbling off. Once you have your room full of this plaster, like you see behind me here, you're going to want to put it all in bags and throw it away to keep your workspace clean. Then you'll take a crowbar and start removing all the lath pieces. They're usually longer pieces, so you'll want to put them in bundles, then throw that away. And lastly, not in this house because it's brick, but most places will have blown-in insulation that's super messy, super itchy, and then you want to get all that down, put that in plastic bags, and put it away. Lastly, as you can see, all these lath pieces will leave behind nails. You're going to want to literally go one by one with a hammer and take out all those nails to leave it ready for the drywall crew. Here are some things you want to watch out for and keep in mind when you're doing demolition jobs. Make sure that you're not demoing any load-bearing walls. What do I mean by this? Load-bearing walls literally carry the weight of the house. In this house, all the weight is on the exterior walls, and although this looks like an exterior wall, it's really not. So if you look up here, it's not carrying any weight of the house, so I can demo this house. If it was holding it up, I could not demo this house, and I'd have to go back to the client and let him know that his framer would need to come in here to hold up the weight of the house before I get rid of this wall. If I were to demo this house, I could run the risk of the house actually coming down on us, which is very dangerous. So typically, when you do a demo job, you want to first make sure that none of the scope of the demo has any load-bearing walls without proper structural integrity. Couple things about being a good demolition contractor is attention to detail. Even though demos just swinging hammers at first, once the area is cleaned up, you want to make sure that you get all the knob and tube, if there is any, out of there. Most guys will just leave this up here. You want to make sure that you have that attention to detail to get rid of every single one of those porcelain and old wires, as well as making sure there's no nails in the framing. So if there's a nail in the framing, you know you got someone that doesn't care. If there is all the nails removed, especially from a lath and plaster system, you're going to be in good shape. You got a good crew. And lastly, make sure you sweep up the place. The presentation is key. Leave the area ready for the next contractor to start work. Once you've had a couple demolition jobs under your belt, it's time to scale. How do you scale? One, you get organized. Make sure that you have plenty of workers that you've already seen how they work and be able to depend on them. Two, systemize a little bit. Make sure you have a schedule. You can use things like Google Calendar. You could use things like Slack for communication and Google Sheets to track expenses. Then you're going to want to start selling jobs. If that's making t-shirts, Facebook posts, Craigslist posts, put out there that you're in the demolition space, and then go to REI meetups, which is real estate investor meetups, to ask for people who are flipping to find out if those demolition jobs are already taken or how you can get yourself into that market. Thank you for watching this video. If you found it valuable, go ahead and like and subscribe. I will be teaching you step by step on how to be a general contracting, starting from demolition all the way to the final cover plate for light switches. So follow me along on this journey. And if you're super serious, hit the link below. We've got a course for you just on demolition, and we'll be dropping other courses along the way to teach you how to be a general contractor.